It's the 25th of May, 2011. Welcome to Studio 66.6, where the laughs never start, but we try. You know, I'm something of a political junkie, which, if you have to be a junkie, that's probably the good kind to be. Now, as a political junkie, the 2012 election is on my mind because I know everything leading up to election night is going to be a lot of fun thanks to some real wacky candidates. You know, this bodes well for watchers like me, but terrible for anyone who wants a good leader and cares about their country. Today, I'm going to take a look at Sarah Palin. Let's call it the first in what will probably end up being a 55-part series, because she is just so awesome for so many reasons. She loves to tease Fox News viewers by saying stuff like, she has a fire in her belly to run in 2012. Considering she quit her job as governor of Alaska halfway through the 4-year term, that fire she feels in her belly may just be diarrhea. She does not come across as someone who likes hard work, and a 16-month presidential campaign is very hard work. Now, Palin certainly has some good things going for her, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, John McCain did select her as his running mate in the '08 campaign, so, you know, he's the one to blame for showing her how the other half live. Causing her to quit her job, leaving Alaska for $1 million a year Fox News gig, got her writing books, or having people ghostwrite books on her behalf to collect many millions more. She was a good vice presidential candidate because, historically, it is their job to attack the presidential opponent. The vice presidential candidates of both parties are like the attack dogs, and she fits that role perfectly because she loves to attack people. And if you respond in any way, she begins to cry and use her children as human shields. That's just how she rolls. She likes to say that New York and California are not part of the real America, but now that's where she spends all her time, thanks to those high-paying gigs. She probably spends a few weeks a year in Alaska, and that's just to film her stupid reality show or some B-roll footage for her Fox News specials. She has brought the term fake to a whole new level, and for a politician, that's really impressive. Palin has a solid 25% of America that absolutely loves her. 25% is also the number of Americans who think the president is a Muslim, who think black men should not be allowed to be president, or to vote for that matter. It's also the number of Americans who are still living in the 50s and watch Fox News religiously. So take that number for what it's worth. Palin considers those who worship at her feet real Americans, and those who question her greatness in any way, shape, or form part of the left-wing liberal elites from New York and LA, or Jews, as she calls them when there's no cameras around. No doubt that in the primaries she would do great. After all, she is loved by the Republican base and takes the right positions on everything they care about. Smaller government, tax cuts for the rich, putting a stop to health care for the poor, and most importantly of all, she is pro-life. Life is the most precious thing ever before birth. But once they are out of the womb, the death penalty for any crime above stealing a loaf of bread is what they deserve. Oh, and don't ask for help from the government for all those unwanted kids. The important thing is that they are born. Quality of life is irrelevant. Just get them out of that womb. And that's that. Yes, Sarah Palin is all about smaller government and ending the welfare state, which is kind of ironic because Alaska gives like $1,000 to every resident because of oil revenue, and she had no problem with that as governor. But any other state or federal program giving Americans money is socialism, communism, and fascism to her. She really doesn't know what those terms mean or the difference between them, but they sound good, so she just shoots them out of her pie hole. Or as Alaskans say, her moose hole. And boy, what a hole she has. It's easy to tell poor people not to abort kids they cannot afford when Fox News pays you $1 million a year to spew nonsense while winking at the camera. The more folksy the better, some political handler told her at some point, and she has taken that ball and run down the field with it. She tells kids not to have sex before marriage. At least she tells that to all kids except her own. If she can't keep her own daughter from getting knocked up, how will she handle the president of Russia? See that? That's called Palin logic, but I turn it around. Huh? Don't retreat, reload, says Palin. But it is okay to quit halfway through your job. Besides, a 4-year state governor term is more a guideline than a strict constitutional rule. In '08, she ran on the claim of being a maverick. Need proof? Other governors do their job for the full 4 years, but mavericks like her, they finish up to 2 years. If a reporter asks her any question which does not start with, quote, I love you and the lamestream media hate you, so let me ask this, end quote, then you are mistreating her and being cruel because she is a hockey mom from Alaska. Shame. Palin's former aide, Frank Bailey, says getting her to show up at meetings or events was like nailing jello to a tree. I say getting her to show up for paid appearances is as easy as a hockey player nailing her daughter. Ouch. That was rough. Whew. She probably believes she could actually be president, but someone should tell her it requires doing actual work, and she could not turn the White House into her own television studio so Fox News can broadcast directly from the Oval Office, which she would promptly rename the Real America / Mental Disability Room. A great 2012 Republican ticket would be Trump-Palin. Sure, she deserves top spot by virtue of being a vice presidential contender on the last losing ticket, but Trump would never be behind a woman, unless it was in bed. And nobody would ever believe Palin has the intellect to be president. Even Republicans with brains are not that stupid. That's all for now from Studio 66.6. Peace.